Good day everyone, we are the Group 3 of BS Criminology from 1 Echo and we are tasked to discuss topic number 3. But before anything else, let me introduce my group mates. By the way, I'm the Cruz Stephanie F. Together with Mr. Dalacat Nigel, the Guzman Cyrus, the Guzman Gian, and the La Cruz Mark Aaron. So today, we are going to discuss the topic about heredity as the cause of crimes. So here's the table of content. First is the introduction, second is the study of heredity as a cause of crime, psychoanalytic and psychiatric factors. Fourth is various study of human behavior and mind concerning the causes of crime. And the fifth one is the psychoanalytical theory of human personality and crime. And the last one is the GNL Index of Criminality. Have you ever experienced when you're still a child and you did something wrong or show bad behavior in public and your parents scolded you and someone or some like Martes and Marisol is nakita yung pangyayaring yun and their judgment was like, kanino ba nagmana yung batang yun? Kanino pa ba magmamana yung batang yun? And then, Marisol will say, edi kanino pa ba magmamana? Edi sa nanay. Like mother, like daughter. Or di kaya, like father, like son. And then, may kasabihan pa na, kung ano ang puno, ay siya ring bunga. Diba? So, another example is, when you have kamag-anak na nasa bilangguan or nabilanggo. And nabilanggo siya, example, magnanakaw, nakasuot siya ng magnanakaw, at nakulong. And then, some says na, ay, magnanakaw yung kamag-anak niya eh. Pag lumaki yan, or pag nagkaisip yan, magnanakaw na rin yan. Para bang sinasabi nila na, it runs in their blood. Diba? So, to make it clear, those phrases are connected what we call heredity. So heredity defined as trait transmission from parents to their offspring. So it refers to the link between genetics and criminal action. So sinasabi nga dito na if father has a criminal traits, then his child has the potential to inherit the traits. So now to better understand what I'm saying, let's move on to the study of heredity as the cause of crimes. So the first one is the study of Kalikak family tree of Henry Herbert Goddard. So in the study of Goddard, namely the Kalikak family, has studied the heredity of feeble-minded. He introduced the term moron. So moron means a person of low intelligence. So sila yung mga tao na may mga low intelligence. So the name Kalikak, Greek root meaning was kalos means beauty, while one saying kakos means bad. So meaning to say, in this study, there is good or beauty, rather, and there is also bad. So the lesson was clear and dramatic, right? So the study linked medical and moral defiance and fused the new Mendelian law with the old biblical injunction. So that says that sins of father are passed on to the son. Sabi nga, di ba? Sabi ko nga, di ba kanina na kung ano ang siyang puno, siya rin ang tuma. And so, in this study, there was Martin Kalikak. So, si Martin Kalikak, siya ay isang soldier of American Revolutionary War. And he was married to a Quaker from a good family and have been traced to have 4,967 descendants without any criminal record. Take note ha, yung Quaker na napangasawa niya is walang kahit na anong criminal record. His affair to feeble-minded woman was traced to have 489 descendants having miserable life. So, in his other woman is merong na-trace na 489 descendants kung saan meron silang miserable life. So, here's the illustration of it. Sa gitna ay yung lalaki na si Martin Kalikak. And then, sa dark side niya is, dun nga is yung feeble-minded woman na napangasawa niya na nagkaroon ng son na old horror. Ibig sabihin nakakatakot. And then nagkaanak, hanggang sa nagkaanak yun ng 10 at hanggang sa magkaroon na ng hundreds of lowest types of human beings. While on the other side is yung worthy quackers na napangasawa niya, kung saan nagkaroon sila ng 7 or 7 na mabubuting anak. At yun na nga hanggang sa magkaroon na din ng hundreds of highest types of human beings. So the second one was the study of Duke family tree of Dugdale and Esterbrook. So during the 19th century, it viewed the year of degeneracy. It roughly synonymous with bad heredity. So the Duke's study in crime, pauperism. Pauperism is the state of extreme poverty, disease, and also heredity theories of social problems such as insanity, poverty, intemperance or wala na pagpigil, criminality, and jealousy are interchangeable. Ibig sabihin, napapantaon or nababa. So, Richard Dugdale in 1875, a rural clan study found that over 7 generations produced 1,200 bastards, beggars, murderers, prostitutes, thieves, and stupidity. So from Duke family, there were 310 who died as paupers. So namatay ng mahirap. And then there were also 150 criminals, 7 murderers, and 100 drunkards. And more than half of the women were prostitutes. Imagine that. So ang mother of criminality si Ada Jukes. So imagine that. Saan nagmula itong Duke family is kay Ada Jukes or Margaret. She is the mother of criminality. So another information lang na si Arthur Esterbrook kaya siya kasama dito sa Duke family is because siya ay nag-publish ng reanalysis of Dugdale's study on the Jukes family in 1950. And while Dugdale's work advocated for improving the environment, which resulted in high rates of crime in Duke's family members, Esterbrook took the Dugdale's research and developed a proposal for forced sterilization to be utilized to prevent Duke family members from reproducing. The third one is the study of Sir Jonathan Edwards' family tree. So Sir Jonathan Edwards, he was a famous preacher during the colonial period. So his family tree was traced, none of the descendants discovered to be criminal. So kumpara sa dalawang nauna, di ba? Sa Kalikak family, merong good traits and bad traits. Meron pa ring bad traits na namamana or naipasa during or in that family. And then the Duke family is puro bad traits ang na-inherit, ang napasa in the generation, on his next generation. And then, kaibahin lang itong pangatlo, ang Sir Jonathan family tree was lahat sila is puro mabubuti or maganda yung namana. Ibig sabihin, wala iniisa sa kanila ang na trace as criminal or no criminal records niya. So, from Sir Edward's family, first there's practically no lawbreakers, more than 100 lawyers, 30 judges, 13 college presidents, and 100 and more professors, 60 physicians, 100 clergy, missionaries, and theological professors. 80 elected public office, including the 3 mayors, 3 governors, several members of Congress, the senators, and 1 vice president. So 60 have prominence in authorship or editorial life, with 13 books of merit and 75 army, meron din 75 army or navy officers, and an addendum of family found after the book was in type reports 2 more positions and a controller of U.S. Treasury. So imagine kung gaano kaganda yung lahing napasa o meron dito sa family ni Sir Jonathan Edward.
Cruz. Today I will discuss psychoanalytic and psychiatric factors. There are 2 definitions of this. First, psychoanalytic is defined as the analysis of human behavior. This describes method of treating mental disorders shaped by psychoanalytic theory, which emphasize unconscious mental process and is sometimes described as depth psychology. Number 2, psychiatry is defined as the study of human mind. This describes the science and practice of diagnosing, treating, and preventing mental disorders with the help of psychiatrists. Now let's go to various studies of the human behavior and mind concerning the causes of crimes. Acorn, in his book entitled Wayward Youth, on 1925, he stated that cause of crime and delinquency is fault development of child during the first few years of his life, or faulty ego development. August Acorn is considered to be one of the founders of psychoanalytic education. He is remembered for his work with juvenile delinquent and disadvantaged youth. He believed that imposed discipline and suppression, which were practiced in traditional reformatory yield few positive results. Acorn was known for his intuitive talents in dealing with the antisocial nature of troubled adolescents and his unorthodox approach in handling their aggressive tendencies. Acorn was an advocate of the idea that there was a distinction between manifest and latent delinquency, and believed that arrested development in youth was a precursor to antisocial behavior. He also believed that this situation was caused by disturbances in early child-parent relationship. Abrahamson, in his Crime and the Human Mind, 1945, explained the causes of crime through formula C is equal to T plus S or R. C is for crime, T is for criminal tendency or desire, S is for total situation or opportunity, and R for resistance. According to Abrahamson, crime is a product of individuals' tendencies and the situation of the moment interacting with this mental resistance, letting C stands for crime, T for tendencies, S for situation, and R for resistance. We derive the following formula. C is equal to T plus S or R. Abrahamson points out that the T factor is not simply aggressive tendencies, since they are present in all men. T also refers to aggressive inclination of an indirect nature, for instance, projections, rebellious hostility toward anyone, protest reactions, or excessive motor activity. A criminal act does not take place solely because of the release of repressed aggression, but may occur also because of the offender has built up a defense of aggression, which is expressed usually by projections, rejection of authority, protest reactions, and etc.
Heidelberg, Young Delinquent. This is the most valuable contribution to the psychology of childhood and adolescence, which has been written in this country. Treating delinquency as an effect, this author enters upon a psychological analysis of the conditions, which can be regarded as causal of a conflict between the individual and organized society. Example, a child is to be regarded as technically a delinquent when his antisocial tendencies become so grave that he becomes, or ought to become, the subject of official action. Professor Burt makes a thorough investigation of each case with reference to 5 conditions: hereditary, environmental, physical, intellectual, and temperamental. Hereditary conditions, as many as 4/5 of the delinquents examined, could plead no history among their kindred of any definable crime. Yet, the number of children who might be said to have criminal blood in their veins is after all comparatively trifling. What has to be faced is no single disposition to crime inherited as such, but numerous underlying weaknesses of all degrees of gravity. Environmental conditions. More than half of the cases of delinquency are found in homes classed as very poor or poor. Comparative tables show that delinquency is more closely associated with overcrowding than with poverty, while the effective family relationships and lack of discipline in the home are even more influential than these material conditions. Physical conditions. In the course of normal development, adolescence is a critical period for the boy or girl, but there is not any conclusive evidence of a direct connection between adolescence and crime. Intellectual conditions. Mental defect is beyond all controversy a notable factor in the production of crime. Mental detectives are found 5 times more frequently in the group of delinquents than in the controlled parallel group of non-delinquents. And the last one, temporal mental conditions. On the whole, the asthenic instinctive tendencies are more marked in the male and the asthenic in the female. It is the asthenic which supply the impulses that leads more directly to conflict with society. And it is the male population which is markedly more criminal than the female. Statistically, conclusions are arrived at only after comparison of the delinquent group with the control non-delinquent group. This control group is composed of 400 children of the same age, same social class, often from the same streets, and attending the same schools as the delinquent group. Second one, William Healy, Individual Delinquency. The individual delinquent, a compendium of social and environmental, psychological, and medical characteristics found in the youths. The task for the court and the clinic, he believed that he determined the unique combination of factors that shape each delinquent's individual personality. Individual delinquents refers to one child committing as an act on his or her own, with argument that the delinquency is caused by family problems. Last one, Walter Bromberg, Crime and the Mind. Viewing crime as a response to social and biological as well as psychic determinants, Bromberg holds that in studying individual crime, social values are only significant as they pass through individuals on their way to be behavioral or symbolic expressions. Viewed as individual behavior, crimes are classified and presented as those essentially aggressive in nature, those essentially passive-aggressive in nature, and those essentially related to psychological stresses.
Sigmund Freud, a father of the psychoanalysis and one of the 20th century's most influential thinkers, developed the idea of psychoanalysis that help in understanding human behavior, especially neurological condition. Sigmund Freud's single most enduring and important idea was that human psychology. The Freud's personality theory in 1923. So, psyche or personality structure is divided into 3 parts. Or it is known as tripartite, so ID, ego, and superego. All of this personality of this aspect, all developing different states in our lives. 3 component part of the mind. ID, it is made up of unconscious psychic energy that works to satisfy basic urges, needs, and desires. It is only part of personality that is present at birth, and that this primitive component or personality existed wholly within the unconscious. Ego, it is the unconscious part of the mind. Rational self decides what action to take for positive means and what to do based on what is believed is the right thing to do. Aware of the reality. Superego, it is composed people internalize ideals acquired from parent and society. The superego works to suppress the urges of the ID and tries to make ego behave morally rather than realistically script here.
Bienal Index of Criminality. Bienal Index of Criminality, defined as a criminal synthesis that explains why a person commit a crime and inhibit themselves from doing so under the following condition. There are 6 conditions, includes the near filtration, external inhabitation, contact with reality, situation crime potential or opportunity, and potential satisfaction. Let's make start with the needs frustration. Needs frustrations involve the more than mere demonstrations of one needs. How do a person may commit a crime through frustration? Frustration and anger grow until you're not able to deal with them. You may then will scream or hit something or someone and lead to aggression that may be direct at yourself or at others. We have internal inhibition. It refers to all types of internal force that we may prevent a person from committing a crime. Example, respect is an example of the external force, and it can be preventing crime because respect will avoid harming and interfering with others. If we have an internal inhibition, we have also an external inhibition. If internal inhibition is all about internal force, external inhibition is all about external force, from the word external itself. As an example, we have a disgrace in the community or punishment. A person might prevent to commit a crime because of the disgrace in the community. That will be let him feel ashamed. No one wants to be disgraced in the community. They are accountable what they doing. Hence, if we commit a crime, surely they will be punished. Let's move forward with the context with the reality. It refers to the context to which people can learn from his past experience, especially the previous mistakes, and foresee the consequence of his immediate actions concern his future. In that given situation, a person will avoid doing what will their past experience because he learned and foresee what will might be the consequence if he repeat the mistake twice. Then we also have a situation crime potential or opportunity. This refers to the cultural opportunity to commit the crime. That is to be easiness of possibilities to commit a crime offered by the given place, situation of a person or environment. In this situation of a crime potential, the criminals can be easily take the opportunity for the criminal to be committed, especially the place where criminals can possibly to commit the crime, and people that can easily be victim. Lastly, we have a potential satisfaction. This refers to the balance and loss that a person may experience if he commit a given crime. If a person has nothing to lose, he more likely to commit a crime. With that condition, he has the encourage to commit a crime because what happened will not bring change with him. If commit a crime, he will not lose anything or anyone, and anything can scare him by the idea of being alone. He has nothing to lose. He can do whatever he wants to. Therefore, he more likely to commit a crime.